So today I'm here with John Richards and Bill Clements at the St. Mary's County Fairgrounds. Bill is going to be talking to us about the history of the Tractor Museum, and if you could give us a quick overview of the fairgrounds.
The county fair started in 1947. We moved to this property, Fair Association, which was a newly formed group. Started building. We moved down here in 1949 and started the fair. So we've been building and putting on fair ever since. It's all done by volunteers. We're not part of county government, but we cooperate with everybody. And try to make the fairgrounds a positive resource for the county. And we have any events that go on here besides the county fair.
Glad you mentioned that, because I do think that a lot of people just tend to think this is just part of the county government in some way, and they don't even realize that you've got so many events like the Oyster Festival, you've got, of course, the fair, you've got tractor pools and all kinds of things that are happening throughout the year. We got a lot of buildings on the fairgrounds, and right now we're standing in the Tractor Museum. So, Bill, could you tell us a little bit more about where we're at?
This is the Thurston Baxter Farm Museum. When he was running the old farm museum in another building, everything was just kind of piled up in there. Come on up here to the farm museum and let's see what we can do. We started cleaning it up a little bit. We needed a new building, something like 50 by 100, and they got with a local contractor, and at that time, Historical Society put up some money, and we got it built. Thank goodness the fairgrounds come to the rescue and took the building over and paid it off, and we brought everything from the old building up here and just basically piled it up and started sorting it out. St. Mary's College, I couldn't have done it without them hauling it up here. I collected a lot of other stuff from people in the county. We got a real good collection of blacksmith tools up there, and we got them all up on the wall. Corn grinders, 1923 Fairbanks Morse ZC engine. There was one of them down at the mill that just run before you got there. The transplanter, it plants everything from tomato plants to tobacco plants to pepper plants or anything. I didn't put the plant in the ground. This was horse lawn originally. You go on YouTube and look at some of the veggie planters. Technology is a whole lot farther advanced, but the principle is still the same. The brick steam engine, 1901. This was brought down by the Suit family, and it was in working condition, which it's out of specs now and out of certification, but it is actually fully complete.
This is probably the oldest engine that I've ever seen, and this good of condition is just incredible.
Stagecoach, my pride and joy here. It belongs to Wayne over there at Chepcoat. It's got the Clydesdales. In the old days, that's how they got their grain, their mail, their parts for the farm, and whatnot.
Yeah, that's an all-purpose vehicle.
These three here are Massey Harris's. They come from the Suit farm. I was lucky to get these because it was just a time capsule after Mr. Suit passed away. Family didn't do no more with the farm but rent it out, so I was lucky to get these two tractors, and Mr. Delozier let me have this old Massey Harris combine, and it is where they didn't have grain bins, but they had another man riding behind the driver, putting it in a bag as it came out of the chute, and then tying it up and let it go in the field, and they'd come back and pick these bags up later. The chopper here, I've got this out of Chaptico, and I got that loom. I'll talk to you in a minute about that, or they tore the barn down. Silage green corn for the cattle feed. This is complete. Hard to find these that are not broke up or missing pieces or anything, and this was just stored over in the corner of a barn. They called me to come and look at it. I said I'll take it, and once I saw what it was and looked it up, it's in most of its good condition. Happy to get that. John knows the lady Christine Emerson. When they asked me to come and look at this, I didn't think it was worth cutting up and putting on a fire. We brought it all in here, and Christine looked it over. We had it in another building at the fairgrounds down at the other end and put it all back together. Some of the guys in the fair board helped me move it in here by trailer and put it here. And doing the Oyster Festival, she'll work that, and she has her spinning wheel where she takes wool and spins it and shows the kids and people how it works. She had a mob back here doing the Oyster Festival. Dyson Lumber Company let me borrow this truck, Model A, right from a lumber company, and I have some of the walnut that we saw at the mill that's going in the kitchen back there. If you look inside of it, it's lined with walnut, and we get a little bit of everything in there. This McCormick deer belongs to the Lee family in the county. Both of these worked together. This is before they had combines, and this was made up until 1941. I don't try and fill the building up with a lot of stuff. If you got one of something, then you don't need two of something. The rest of the light stuff I try to display on the wall. You'll see different things I got on display, like the Crocs up there from the kitchen. I put them up there to keep people from touching them. They're priceless, and they'll break in a minute if you drop them on the concrete.
You know what's striking to me is just that when you see all these different brands and some of the different manufacturers that have been building machines for the longest time, it's really cool how far they've come.
As you look in the kitchen?
Oh, the kitchen. Let me show you that. Get your wife a fat stick. I don't give them that, but I'll give them one to you.
Thank you very much.
Here you go. You can have one for a souvenir. Everything here was sold at down at the mill. The three walls aligned with walnuts. That refrigerator, it was great. A person got a hold of me, come by the house one day and says, I'm coming down a building that has got a refrigerator in it. And I went down there and looked at it, and I got it in the back of the pickup truck. I wouldn't dare start it up, but it was complete.
Wow.
Along with the wood stove, the old washing machine, and that sewing machine right there is 100% complete. It has everything with it, same with the cream separator here.
One thing that I want to kind of connect the dots on, and that's that there's a ton of people who have donated a lot of time, energy, all these different antiques that go unrecognized, but this is such a good example of, in my opinion, like what makes St. Mary's County awesome is that we've got so many generous people who are willing to collaborate and put in their time, efforts, and some of these things are absolutely priceless.
They are.
So the fact that we have this here is just a really great testament to what you're doing, what the volunteers are doing at the fairgrounds, and what other people can join in on.
Thurston Baxter was up there in his 80s when he grabbed me for the mill, and after I got messing around with the engine down there, he said, well, come up here, and I looked at that, and I didn't know whether you wanted to take it to the dump or do something with it. And then slowly by slowly, the fair board got involved, and then we got this building here, and they took care of it, and it's under the Fair Association now and maintained. We just don't bring a bunch of junk in here. We try to keep it tasteful.
Well, I gotta say, I'm really blown away by everything that's here. I'm really glad that John and Bill, you guys have invited us in here to show people what it's like, because the next time people are at the county fair, this is definitely a place that they got to see.
I'm honored to have you come and show the building all.
For the folks who are watching this and they're thinking, wow, this is really amazing. For the folks that want to volunteer and they want to get involved with the St. Mary's County Fairgrounds, how can they get involved?
If you're interested, send us an email. You come to the fair. We're always here. Just want to say that we are so fortunate to have a resource like Bill, that he knows everything that's in here. And same thing down at Cecil's Mill.
Bill, appreciate you
That was
doing what you're doing. And John, thank you as well.